You had the whole day to do it. You told yourself you'd start at 10, then at noon, then after lunch, then first thing tomorrow. And now it's midnight. You haven't done anything, and somehow you feel both exhausted and guilty at the same time. Sound familiar? Here's what most people get wrong about procrastination. They think it's about laziness, about being disorganized, about not caring enough. But psychology tells a completely different story. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It's an emotion management problem. And once you understand what's actually happening inside your brain when you procrastinate, everything changes. Today, we're breaking down the real psychology of procrastination through 4 key concepts that will completely change how you see yourself. The first concept is called the emotion regulation theory of procrastination. In 2013, psychologist Fuchsia Sorois published research that changed how scientists understand procrastination. Her finding was simple but profound. People don't procrastinate because they're bad at managing time. They procrastinate because they're trying to manage how they feel right now. Think about it. When you avoid starting a project, what are you actually avoiding? The task itself, or the feelings that come with it? The anxiety of not knowing if you're good enough, the fear of being judged, the discomfort of doing something hard, the overwhelm of not knowing where to start. Procrastination is your brain's way of saying, that task feels threatening. Let's do something that feels safe instead. Scrolling Instagram doesn't make you feel anxious. Watching YouTube doesn't make you feel like a failure. So your brain, designed to protect you, chooses comfort over the task. The problem? The relief is real, but it's temporary. And every time you avoid the task, the anxiety around it grows bigger. You're not solving the problem. You're feeding it. The second concept is the present bias. Your brain has a fundamental flaw in how it perceives time. It values the present moment far more than the future, even when the future version of you will be the one who suffers. Neuroscientists have found that when we think about our future self, the brain activates the same regions as when we think about a complete stranger. Literally, your brain doesn't fully identify with who you'll be in 2 weeks. So when you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, your brain hears, someone else will deal with this. And that someone else feels very far away. This explains why deadlines work. When the future becomes a present, when tomorrow becomes today, suddenly the task feels urgent. The stranger becomes you. And it explains why people who visualize their future self in detail are significantly better at following through. The more real your future self feels, the harder it is to betray them. The third concept is task aversion, and it's more specific than you think. Not all tasks create procrastination equally. Research by Timothy P. Ychyl at Carleton University found that procrastination is highest when tasks have a specific combination of characteristics. They feel boring, or frustrating, or ambiguous. You don't know exactly what done looks like, or they feel pointless, or they're overwhelming because they seem too big, or they come with the threat of failure. The more these characteristics a task has, the more your brain wants to avoid it. This is why you can spend 4 hours working on something you love, but can't spend 4 minutes starting something you dread. Even if the second task is objectively more important, it's not about the time. It's about how the task makes you feel. And the fix isn't willpower. The fix is reducing the emotional weight of the task itself, breaking it down, making the first step so small it can't be avoided, removing the ambiguity, giving it a clear finish line. The fourth and final concept is a procrastination loop, the cycle that keeps you stuck. It starts with a task that triggers negative emotions. You avoid the task to feel better. You feel temporary relief, but also guilt and shame for avoiding it. That guilt makes the task feel even more overwhelming, which makes you avoid it even more. This is why procrastination gets worse over time if you don't address it. Each avoidance cycle adds more emotional weight to the task, until the task becomes so loaded with anxiety and shame that even thinking about it feels unbearable. Psychologists call this the procrastination doom pile. You know that pile. The emails you haven't answered for 3 weeks. The project you can't even look at. The phone call you've been dreading. It's not that you forgot. It's that the emotional cost of starting has become so high that it feels impossible. Breaking the loop requires one thing: starting before you feel ready. Not because motivation comes first, but because action comes first and motivation follows. Every time you start despite the discomfort, you weaken the loop a little more. So, what do you do with all of this? First, stop calling yourself lazy. You're not lazy. You're human. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you from discomfort. Second, when you notice yourself procrastinating, ask, what feeling am I trying to avoid right now? Name the emotion. Just naming it reduces its power over you. Third, make starting impossibly easy. Don't commit to finishing the project. Commit to opening the document. Just that. The brain can handle tiny steps far better than it can handle the full weight of everything at once. And fourth, forgive yourself. Research by Michael Wall found that people who forgave themselves for procrastinating were significantly less likely to procrastinate the next time. Self-compassion isn't weakness. It's the fastest path back to action. Your future self is not a stranger. They're you, and they deserve better than another midnight full of guilt. Start, even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if you don't feel ready. Especially then, if this changed how you see procrastination, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for a new psychology mind map every week. We're just getting started.